10:30 today. We have had this beautiful time on understanding different varieties of question that we get in, and I'm very sure that you must be enjoying this in asking your questions. So, without any further ado, can we begin with our first question for the day? Yes, and that is very interesting. So, let me give you a background of this question. First things to put it first, that we have started resuming back to work. We have started going to offices. Work from home is kind of not so be followed in this kind of uh, in this pandemic, and people are going to the office on a regular basis. Now, one thing we have to understand that we have had a kid during the COVID times. He or she has grown up, and definitely the child is, in the phase of a toddlerhood between the age of 2 to 3 years old. And we are wondering that whether we should keep the kid at home and then move out, or whether we should take the kid or put him in a daycare or a crèche, or these sort of questions which really trouble us. So at a given point of time, COVID was a blessing for all the working moms because they would spend quality time with their kids. But second thing, now that we have resumed back to the working, we need to understand that this kind of a situation may not come again. So, all the hospitals, all the places, all the workplaces have adopted something known as a hybrid policy, where working from home and working from the office is, kind of mixed up. And now we have a question today by one of our users saying that my baby is 6 months old, and I have to leave the baby at home because I have to travel to the office. And the office working hours are 9 hours. So I want to breastfeed my baby, but what is the best possible solution to provide with breast milk even when I am away from my child? So this is a very nice question, and that is why I spoke about the background of getting back to work and speaking about things where people really find it confusing. Should I go back or should I not? First things, you can manage your baby even when you are working and you're away from the baby. Breastfeeding is still possible by you have to express out your milk, and then you can store the milk, and the person who is taking care of the baby will definitely help the child to be breastfed. Third, we have to understand that since we also start with complementary food at the age of 6 months, it becomes easy for the person to manage the child's eating patterns. So, two times would be normal complementary meals, and rest of the time it will be all baby breast milk. So, in these, the 9 hours can be managed well. Plus, water is also to be given. So, you should not be worried in the fact that your baby will be hungry. You should be looking forward for expressing more and more amount of milk, for which your diet and your routine should not be very stressful. As a mom, I think we overthink ourselves sometimes, and this makes an impact on the quantity of the breast milk, which subsequently starts decreasing. So these are the things that you need to address first, and then definitely you can feed up your child. Our second question for the day is, my baby is 5 months old and he's having rashes on the forehead and on the sides of the cheek. His skin is very sensitive. I am not able to understand why this is happening. So over here, as a concern for the mom, I can let you know that rashes during summers, it is very common, especially on the cheek, the forehead, the chin, the neck. So over here, if you're using a combination of oils, if you're using coconut mustard oil, if you're using gingerly oil, and you're applying it on the face, definitely there are going to be rashes. So what I would help you out over here with, remove these combination oils. Try our new baby chakra product, where the massage oil is different, the hair oil is different, and definitely you will find that the baby's skin rashes have reduced. Secondly, that this irritation that causes for the rashes definitely is harmful for the skin's, uh, skin's child's skin, because if these rashes get into an infection, the pores inside get water and liquid starts coming out. So you have to gently massage these cheeks. Even if the massage is done by a massage wali, you have to tell her, do not press, do not press like this. You have to use your thumbs, and in a circular manner you have to keep circulating the massage. This is going to be very, very beneficial and going to be helpful for you as well, because you will understand your child will be doing much better. Okay, we move on to the next question by the user, which says that I have I have seen facial hair on my baby's skin. My baby is 3 months old and I want to remove them. So how do I do this? So a worried mom understand that a baby's skin is very, very delicate and very, very sensitive. The skin will have hair which will be on the side of the face, on the forehead, extra high hair on the eyebrows, on the nose, on the chin. So this is a very common aspect of having baby hair. Second thing what I would say is that we should understand that this hair causes a trouble to the mother because she sees it a lot, but it is actually a protecting the skin from dust and allergies. So I would like to tell the mom over here that if you are so worried, forget about removing the hair because it is going to cause sensitization to the skin. There is nothing what we can do at this point of time because your baby is really very small. Also, what we have to understand is that this facial hair acts as a protection rather than acting as a hindrance. So, it is beneficial that you work out and think of other things rather than worrying about this kind of a problem. Our next question by the user is, आफ्टर सी सेक्शन क्या हम कब से बेल्ट पहनना शुरू कर सकते हैं? So this is a very nice question. I would like to say that after a maternity belt that offers belly, hip, and back support, and which also gives you comfort during feeding, you can wrap this maternity belt around the lower portion of the abdomen above your C section area. You can start wearing it after 1 week of delivery and after the wound dressing until 3 months of baby's age. And you can wear it day in and day out, and you need to be very, very careful in wearing this because the wound is very, very you know still healing, so it is still wet, not very dry, so it might cause a effect on the wound. Be very careful on understanding of how these things work for in your favor. Okay, now we have the next question. My baby is 28 days old and he is still having cough. What should I do? I would just like to say that if your baby is 28 days old and is having cough, and if you have checked the feeding, check the latch properly, also if you have checked onto the things very well, I believe that we can you know go to the doctor and get some medicines for the same, because a pediatrician will be a better person to help you in this case. Home remedies do not work for your kids. This is what I would like to ask you. Next question is, My baby has blocked nose, what to do? Now, if your baby has blocked nose, you can definitely use a little bit of a nasal spray or Vicks on the nose, but this should be prescribed with a doctor's help. And definitely, it is going to be beneficial for your child because that is going to give you a little comfort in understanding how your child's cold is proceeding. You can also give some ajwain steam to your baby, wherein your baby is very much kept away, and your baby has a lot of comfort in when you are putting up things. So definitely the response given by your baby is much better. The next question is, my baby is my baby is not passing stools, and she has a lot of gas problems. She is farting very much. What should I do? Now, there are two ways to look at it. First, understand why she is not able to pass stools. So that could be due to less of water in your meals, or it could be less of vegetables in your meals, or it could also be less because of the intake not being proper or air being taken while feeding. That is one thing. Second thing is, if the stomach is bloated, you need to give her a tummy massage, where you need to go on the tummy in a circular manner, and then you massage the baby's stomach. You do a little bit of cycling, and this definitely gives a relief to the child when it is having some massage done. So the baby will fart some awful gases, but definitely this will be helpful in helping the child to pass the stools immediately. Our next question is, um, which is a good book for motherhood? Wow, that's a nice question. Since we are all looking to have a wonderful motherhood and also a beautiful journey, I would just like to tell you that Strong Mother and Strong Son is a mindful parenting book that I would suggest you. Second is What to Expect When You Are Expecting. That is also a book which is very helpful. Third thing is that you should get time to read these books, because when you are having a baby, you don't find time for yourself. So that is a thing you can read up, and definitely it will be helpful for you. Our next question is, my baby is 20 days old. Which soap, oil, and shampoo can I use? And what kind of oil I would, use? What type of oil in how much quantity? So I would tell you, hey dear, you can gently start massaging your baby after your baby completes 1 month. You can use coconut oil, or you can also try the new baby chakra new baby massage oil. It is very good, and we are using it in our family. Secondly, oil and shampoo. Baby chakra has come up with a mild head wash and a head to toe product. So it is also definitely helpful for your baby. It will be very helpful. You can check it out on the Baby Chakra website. Now, the next question by the user is, मेरा बेबी नींद से उठ ही नहीं रहा है, इसके लिए मैं क्या करूं? So, I would like to address this question to a worried mom, saying that, hi mom, some babies sleep better than the normal. It is okay not to worry. At least 3 months to 6 months have their own routine set because of their cardiac activity. But you need to check the baby if the baby is having proper weight gain during this period of 3 to 6 months, and definitely it will be very helpful for the baby to understand if things go in a proper manner or not. I hope this is very, very helpful for you. Looking up on the next question, I would just like to tell that these questions are really helpful for all the moms because they look for a solution that probably might work in their favor. Okay, so a question asked by somebody and looked up by somebody is definitely worthwhile, and you get to understand how things work in your favor. One thing. Second thing is these questions give you a lot of meaningful answers. Probably you can understand in a way that things get much better. Okay, so we move on to the next question. That is, there is sudden sound and pain in the area of C-section. What should I do? Now the mom has not given any information, and she is just told about pain. So I would just suggest that why don't you go to the doctor, check for yourself, and probably it will be much better to understand why these things need to be taken care of, wherein uh, the stitches could be wet, there could be infection, there could be itching, and there could be other things that we need to understand. So we have to really look forward, for taking care of ourselves. Our next question is, मुझे अपने बॉडी बहुत हेवी लग रही है आफ्टर सी सेक्शन। सी सेक्शन का 1 महीना होने वाला है। ऐसा लगता है कि कुछ नीचे की तरफ खींचा आ रहा है। क्या ये नॉर्मल है? Okay, now this is a very nice concern that the mother has addressed. The mother is feeling very, very heavy even after giving birth, and after 1 month of delivery, she feels the pain and she feels like the skin is being pulled down. Now, what we understand and what we see is that when this is happening, we have to be very, very careful, and this is very, very common. So we need to understand that addressing this issue is something important. This is because the skin is tightening up and getting back in shape. You can use a belt, you can use a comfort level of for yourself, and definitely your health will improve in a manner that will give you a lot of comfort. Second thing, if this is going too much, you can definitely see a doctor in person. Okay. I would be taking up your questions on a regular basis, and definitely it will be helpful for me to understand whatever your queries are. For today, it is only these many questions. I will be meeting you tomorrow, definitely at this time, and I will take up more questions. Thank you for patiently listening to me. Have a wonderful